This is not the first time that we've dropped by an auto wrecking yard, but as you'll see later, this one is rather unique. And we'll also discover that there's a good and a bad side to running a business like this one. But first, we recently met some men who demonstrated their talents behind the wheel of a car for us. And in doing so, they gave us some ideas for our next edition of Test Drive. Although I must confess, we haven't mentioned anything to Graham Fletcher. Auto journalists were in for a real treat recently at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Not only was former SAAB rally great Eric Carlson in town, but he also brought along some very talented drivers. The SAAB performance team is comprised of men who work in the technical division of SAAB in Sweden. This was their first opportunity in North America to demonstrate that when driver and machine become one, the results can be phenomenal.
This team started up at 87 for a 50 years anniversary, and we're using this 900 turbo 3-door sedan, and that's actually quite standard. We have done nothing but increase the tire pressure. That's all we do.
Speaking of tires, keep your eye on the left front. This exercise demonstrated the SAAB's ability to react in an emergency situation with little or no driver input. Then it was time for the snake, led by team leader Bank Dahl.
To start up with the snake, that we call it, I think it's showing how smooth you can go and narrow to the other car, you know, and still have full control.
You're the leader, all the pressure's on you?
Yeah, all the pressure is on me, you can say that, yeah. But that's, I don't know if it's easier to be in the front or in the back, you know, they have to increase the speed a little bit more and when you do this turning and so on. But in front we have to keep the speed down, to keep them steady back there.
The speed increases for the next demonstration called the zigzag, which would leave no room for error.
That's a little bit tricky one, you know, because you can't be on top of each other, because then you smash the rear end of the other car. And after that we do this meeting, and that's mostly timing.
Okay, as we clear the track.
There are people called stunt drivers, but do you consider yourself stunt drivers or?
No, we are not stunt drivers. We are common guys who've done a lot of driving. I think we are quite experienced driver, all of us, because we have done a lot of rally driving back home in Sweden and other countries in Europe. I think we have been rally driving for 10-15 years, all of us. So we have the experience to drive a car on slippery roads, and that we use on the asphalt.
The team effort, a chemistry, how important is that among the team?
I think it's quite important. Otherwise it won't work. Everyone has to be on top of everything, you know. And we all love to drive cars, and that's the main thing, I think.
They have combined experience and size.
If we were from the beginning more using the turbocharger for its real benefit, that is improved emissions, reduced noise level, improved fuel economy because you can have a smaller engine for a given power, etc., then we would have been a little bit further down this road where we are aiming, namely to make the turbocharger an as natural component of the car as starter motor or alternator or whatever, because the turbocharger is the most powerful component we have now in order to meet all the future requirements.